Well, at least these troops will be too exhausted to put up much of a fight, so at least that's good. So here, looks like we routed the armed citizenry so we can deal with those troops with the lancers in a little bit. Oh, there we go. This entire... Look at that! Just an entire army routed, broken, too. So you have that. You have the little cannon track thing pulling itself because it's... That little wooden carriage is just so afraid it's running by itself without anybody or anything to tow it. And oh look, a tiny Napoleonic square. Doesn't even have any people in the center. And the point of these is that like no horses are able to charge these. Well, at least the purpose of it is that no horses are able to charge them. But yeah, if any portion of this little line breaks, the entire thing goes. So with that said, oh, it actually does work exactly how it does in real life. Okay, that's good. Yeah, I mean, like, the theory behind it is that horses won't charge onto stakes or anything like such, so they'll just stop right in front of it, and I guess it works. And that is that battle. So, yet another victory, so we'll end the battle, heroic victory. It always likes to designate all victories as heroic ones. So that is good, and that should be the end of that battle. And according to this, the enemy commander was something Friedrich Emanuel, so it wasn't von Blücher, and they lost 7,000 people, and we lost 1,000. So I mean, a 1-to-7 ratio. That's pretty good. We'll occupy Breslau, repair the place, and I think it's next turn time. Gotta say, this is the fastest campaign I've had for this game so far. I see. Berlin is where all the influential people are, and hopefully Napoleon will march against him in the next 2 turns or so. Napoleon, I think, has, like, yeah, his army was very, very depleted, so he'll need some time.
There is unused land suitable for farming in this region.
Yeah, I've never used
farms here.
this. Just be quiet. There we go. Yeah. I've never used the spies for the game, for this game at least. So we'll see how that really goes. Looks like we took some Irish losses in the last battle, so we'll need to replace those. And Ney's little force here should be fine. So we'll get Ney to actually come out here and take out Patrick Falk. There we go. There you go. Goodbye, Patrick Falk. And that should settle that front in Vienna. Vienna is always a nice place to go to, simply because it is the enemy capital that can always produce more troops for us. They'll produce some troops, and we'll get the Swiss to go with whatever commander here. And this will go to Transylvania and take them out over there. We're apparently at war with the Ottoman Empire, so we will conquer the Balkans in just a bit. Now on the seafront, oh yes, our 122 gun ship of the line is complete. So that's nice. And production goes as, well, production goes unheated, so that's good. Now for here, let's build some troops like that. And we can get Murat, which is a minor commander, to lead a force up to southern Netherlands, and from southern Netherlands he can get some peasantry to join him, and with the peasantry he can then march on to Holland. So from here our research is going quite nicely. Oh, that's right, we need a barracks, yes. Well, no, we need mass mobilization. Why can't I reach mass mob? Why can't I research this? It requires national genius, apparently. Conscription, time information, cannon raid. Already have all that. What does it require? National consensus. Ah, there we go. We're researching that right now. The reason, like, my tech plan for this game, and I don't talk about this a lot, simply because the vast majority of the techs that are useful are already unlocked by default using Darth mod. Oh, Dresden is apparently being marched upon. That's... oh, it's actually being sieged. Alright, that's good. Yeah, one of the more useful techs inside the game is that fire by rank thing, which allows people to kneel down and shoot and stuff like that. So yeah, that's one that's typically critical. Yeah, you just have like a mass of spies right here. Policies, everybody's happy. Yeah, everybody's pretty much happy, so that's good. Saxony is surrounded, and Napoleon only has a half of a decent force. So in this situation, what we can do here is that it's going to be 4 turns until Napoleon surrenders. And that's going to be 4 turns' worth of militiamen that we can gather and send towards him. In Breslau can train some of these regiments, the West something, and send them forward. We can get Ney to relieve Napoleon. There we go. Let's go for the Balkans, and let's go for Transylvania at the same time. That might be a little risky, but we'll see how that really does. We can double up our recruitment simply because currently we're generating so much income for what it's worth that it doesn't really matter. There we go. And I think this turn will just be production, seeing as how Napoleon really needs to get relieved soon, or get a relief force, not get relieved of command, but he needs a force soon. Okay, oh, they're going to assault us. Well, looks like Napoleon is on the defense this time, so I guess we'll fight. The button says attack, though. Louis Finnerland Prince de Prutzen, apparently. Yeah, that little B thing in German, the little weird capital B is for intents and purposes 2 S's. Just a little tidbit that you guys may find. There. Alright, there we go. So for this battle, yeah, we have a weakened core, but because we had 1 turn of resting for our troops, I mean our troops are still all above the 500 unit mark, or the 100 unit mark. If we had 500 units, then that'd be great. But currently, we need to figure out a battle plan that'll work for Napoleon's forces here. The good thing about having Napoleon is that our troops are effectively invulnerable in morale, so it'll take a lot of stuff to really knock these guys out. So what I want to do is that I want to, I'm trying to get our cannons assembled up here under the high ground. And what I want to do for this battle is really just make it so that we fight on our turf, let these guys advance on us, and let our cannonry just pound them down, and then let the infantry really whittle down the enemy's forces. So here's what we'll do. We'll have a militia line, and this militia line will have a few fortifications like that, or no, they'll have spikes like that. And then behind them, we will have a line of... Where do I have my... Do I have any fusiliers here? Were any light infantry? Apparently not. Alright, well in that case, we'll get a corps of regular troops and we'll place them behind the conscripts, get them to build some trenches. Yeah, these are the trenches inside the game. They're really not impressive. I was under the impression that the game would actually let you dig trenches, but no, it's just that, and it's quite disappointing. So we'll get our guys assembled there. We'll have those troops there, and we'll get the National Guard to build some another line of those cavalry spikes, and then we'll have these guys, the National Guard, build some trenches like that. And then the cavalry we will sacrifice. So we'll put them there. The old guard, which I almost forgot, is going to come by here, stand right next to the cannons, and Napoleon will come here and stand by whatever. There we go. Yeah, the might of the Prussian army. Yeah, these guys are now Fusiliers. Apparently these guys have Fusiliers and Musketeers, so that's rather interesting. Oh, didn't mean to give Napoleon an attack order. He should just sit around here. And now the waiting period, I mean, kind of begins. There's really not much to do till then. Yeah, no, not Von Blucher again. No, yeah, it was Finnerland something now as the commander. Let's see. I've got quite a lot of 6-pounder cannons, which is pretty impressive. Lots of Fusiliers, and I see some. Oh, yeah, they also do have some Musketeers and some other good stuff here. Some Grenadier regiments. You know, I think we're probably just going to wait until they actually advance onto us. So with that said, I am going to cut until the action really starts. And there we go. Now we're back. So the enemy has started to bombard us, and we have started to bombard them. So with that said, let's get Napoleon to actually take place, to kind of stand here for a little bit behind some of the infantry, and hopefully these guys up front will be able to absorb the shots for now. I mean, I'm actually a huge fan of cannons and artillery batteries actually, so this is the interesting part of the battle for me. And our cannons are fucking deadly from the looks of it. I mean, we were able... Holy... Like, look at that. We had one barrage so far, and we were able to knock out 2 batteries from the enemy. So, yeah, I think it's something about when cannons move, like in the game, you can hit their horses, and it effectively counts as hitting the cannon itself. So you can knock them out really easily like that. So that's that. That's at least good. At least our little battery here is doing their job, and we have 12-pounders, 8-pounders, and a lot of 6-pounders. The 6-pounder shots, and I think I've already said this already, they're not that big. They're like the size of a baseball or a softball, or no, yeah, they're like a soft or yeah, they're not that big. That's my point. But they are lethal in that it is really just a giant bullet that hits multiple people. Oh hey, weather balloon. Now let's see, these guys turn off their guns and we will advance in a little bit. The one main advancement to cannons, which wasn't present at this time, was the fact that these cannons, whenever you fired them, they would move ever so slightly so that... Oh, what is our cannons doing? They're apparently hitting Fusiliers over here. But yeah, whenever the cannons shoot, they would move ever so slightly, rendering it so that they can't actually hit a target more than once, unless you had a experienced gun crew which can relocate it. That and the fact that they really weren't able to get off very many shots before they kind of failed. Oh. Cannons against horses are surprisingly more effective than what I thought they would be. Oh, and these guys are the horses that shoot. Yeah, the horse skirmishers that shoot, in my experience, have always been terrible because they would shoot themselves for whatever reason. And that's the reason why I have to use these light horse guys as melee calves, simply because they kill themselves. Apparently, it doesn't affect the AI. Where the Prussians, I mean, they're still doing an adequate job, despite the fact that they're trying to charge us, but not really. Alright, so there we go. Right now, what I think I'll do is I'll get the horses to disappear, so they'll go out of the way, and we can fight using our little star half hexagon bunker thing. Not a star formation, but like a little bunker we have here. So hopefully all of our like conscripts and stuff, they take the brunt of the enemies' blow here. I hope these things provide minimal cover, because any little bit of cover that we have will help us out here. I wonder if these things actually do anything to slow down enemy charges with infantry. Too, that would be kind of neat to see. Oh, is there a cavalry charge? No, it's still these Jaeger Zoo something. I think the AI wants to charge me, but they can't simply because of the anti-horse things over here. Swiss Grenadiers taking a pounding. Oh, and they're gonna hit the conscript lines here. Yeah, the AI is sort of dumb in that it'll stop right in front of your lines like this, but the British actually also had a tendency to do this in real life, where against logically, or rather in theory, it would make sense. You stop all of your troops just before you reach the enemy's lines, and you get all of your guys to fire off a few shots. That way, in theory, you wouldn't miss, and then all of your 122 guys would devastate the enemy's lines with like one fully accurate musket barrage. But the problem behind it is that it's much better to just get your troops to keep their momentum.
Our men are running, sir!
And actually charge your enemy. It's not over here. They are threatening our flanks, and we'll try to get our cavalry to come back here and pick off these musketeers. Yeah, the conscript line has failed us already. Let's see, what can
Our
we do
men
here?
are running,
Armed
sir!
citizenry, let's get you on the field. Militia garrison, let's get you squeezed inside here. And there we go. So that's a shame. I didn't expect them with the militiamen to give out that easily, but still. I kind of expected them to hold out for a little bit longer. But you know what? I think the decisive, like if we charge all of our cavalry into the rear of the enemy here, and decisively crush one of their flanks, we should be able to win this right around by breaking them here. Yeah, so we'll commit our cavalry reserves here. That is going to keep a lot of these Prussian troops busy. And then from there, French counterattack. On their flanks, we'll get the guard and we'll commit them here. And then hopefully this will be able to break this our right flank, their left flank. Yeah, their troops are starting to break here. That's good. Well-timed charge. That's really good. If we're able to smash them here. And then we can get the old guard, which frightens these guys to move forward. They appear to be committing their reserves, so actually these are just wounded troops that are coming back into the fight. Or broken troops that are coming back to the fight. And we'll try to break, as opposed to shatter all of the guys on the left. And from here, we can switch our guys to the right to our other flanks, which will be a little more essential, which are in danger. Oh, our cavalry should really avoid going on those spike things. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure our guys can also take losses when they're going over them. This is a victory for the French cavalry from the looks of it. They're throwing Schultz and Silesian infantrymen, riflemen at us. Yeah, the Prussians weren't expecting that. The mass cavalry charge. Yeah, so at the cost of conscript lives, we were able to turn that battle around. I thought we were gonna lose for a second there in the middle of it. I mean, those were a lot of Prussians smashing themselves upon us. But at least things worked out, so that's good. And with that said, our cannons are gonna continue keeping those guys down. We can get our Get our cav to disperse and chase the enemy now. Yeah, this is one of the major purposes of cavalry, is to keep the route going.